All right, we're on our way to go visit one of our awesome clients today. Day in the life vlog.
Oh, you're recording. All right. That's good. All right, let's go.
Hey guys, today we have a special guest. This is one of our clients, Nicola.
Hi, nice to meet you. Nice to meet you.
And we just wanted to have breakfast with him and talk with him and make this a vlog. So, Nicola, I have some questions for you. Who are you and what do you do?
All right, thank you so much. And let me figure this thing out. So we are here at one of the iconic bars in restaurants in Houston. So pretty cool, but there might be some background noise, whatever. We'll figure it out in editing time, right?
That's right.
But yeah, so about me, I've been lucky enough to be involved in the real estate business. Although my primary job is actually being a physician and an oncologist, I've been exposed to real estate through my dad as well, because he was kind of an engineer in Italy, and I was always been interested in rehab and kind of hospitality, because that's what he used to do a little bit on his part of his career as well. What my passion is, what intrigues me about real estate, is the portion of making something very ugly pretty, and then serving through hospitality someone to have the experience that you created. So what we do with our group, we call it the Italian Plaza. So
I love it.
Yes. So we're trying to recreate experiences of Italy in around the US. So we have houses here in Houston. We have 3 units also in Miami, and then what we do, we create inside the house sort of an experience where, like, eventually paintings, pictures, or references or art from the specific city that the house has a name on, right? So for instance, we have Bologna, Siena, we have Tuscany, we have Rome, we have Amalfi, we have multiple cities that way. And in the process, we've been very lucky to work with you guys, because I met Basil by luck at this point, I would say, online. Search for someone that was a little bit more into technology and modern approaches to also serving providing cleaning services, right? And then you guys have a great tool. It's all automated. But what it really was intriguing when I spoke with him was, like, he wanted to go beyond and create what for me is the most important thing in short-term rental, is having a team, like a reliable partners in general. So you have to have your cleaning team is as important of your maintenance team, right? And I would say it's as important as the other things that you have in the creation of your business. So your team with your real estate agent, your team with your lender, your bank, your reference banks. Those are the first things you need. But then when it comes to the operations, you have to have a very strong cleaning team that is helping you also understanding the good and the bad of the house, not just providing the simple, right? So small maintenance thing, agreement on extra little task, stocking your supplies, like making sure that everything is there. So if you can get to that level of trust and support, then I think everybody can have found the perfect setup for their short-term rental.
Right. You were talking a lot about partnerships.
Right.
For me, personally, it's really hard for me to do partnerships. But for you have partners in this business. So how did you find them, and how did you know that you're the right fit to work with each other? Right.
I probably underestimated the kind of weight of the word partner as a team. But it's true that it's difficult sometimes to find the real partners. But that should be the goal. In general, you need to have a trust group of people around you to support you in the business, because you won't be able, starting from the beginning, if you don't trust your real estate agent, you're not sure that the deal is a good deal, right? So they have to understand you, he, she, whoever it is, that's to understand what is your goal with the property, so they can guide you through the selection process. You're a lawyer, you're a CPA, all of them, they have to be partners as well. They have to understand what are you doing with your investment and how do you want to set up your teams, right?
Correct.
And then that's on the setup and selection, and eventually same things when it comes to your contractor, or they need to understand what's going on, that you're a partner, that you're going to have another one, that you're going to use them in maintenance. So they need to feel wanted, right?
That's right.
Right. Otherwise it's one-time shop, and then people, in this society is so dynamic, nobody really cares.
Right.
So you need to understand that you're building a relationship.
That's right.
The same thing with your operational partners, right? Like with you guys and anybody else that has to do with the day-to-day of the, right? So selection of the partner is sometimes difficult, and you have to kind of heuristic it a little bit. It's a little gut feelings, and a little bit of give them a chance to be. And then, of course, slowly you can assess how reliable they are, and then eventually that's the selection that you have on your partner. And of course, when you're talking about the business partner per se, you have to make sure that there are people that are aligned with your vision, right? So first thing is not like about, oh yeah, let's put X money each on the investment. No, it's more, do we believe in whatever we're doing the way we want to do it?
Right.
So there's alignment, vision. It's the first thing.
Like a
to
marriage.
Say. It's kind of it's a kind of a mini contract that eventually writing down. But
that's right.
it actually your lawyer is going to write that down, because it's at a certain point you're going to have operation agreement of your LLC, which I always recommend when you do business. Have an LLC. Do not put anything on your personal name. There are operating agreements that are describing how your LLC is going to operate in the good and the bad. Right. So it's a sort of a marriage, and then eventually, if something happens, you can amicably split or, legally split.
Right.
So you need to make sure that everything is in place when you start your collaboration.
Absolutely. So how did you find your partners? Are they your friends?
Oh yeah, sorry, I didn't respond to the real question.
It's okay.
So first of all, I met people randomly that are also interested in real estate. Right. Those people, at a certain point, were doing their own investments. I was doing my own investment. At a certain point, we say, hey.
Sorry for interrupting. Were they here in the United States? Because I know you're from Italy.
So most of the people that I met were here in the United States, because that's where I spent my last 13 years. So my real career after, medical school of residency and starting my medical practice was actually in the US. So that's where I met most of the people that I did business with. And here in Houston, it's a hub for real estate.
That's right.
So in the last...
And for medical.
Medical as well. Medical as well. It's like, I'm very grateful to what Houston has given me in many ways, because it's such a interesting place, such a diverse place, such a welcoming place, and easy for many people that come from not from the US to kind of fit right at home. Right?
Absolutely.
But my friends were going to be laughing now, because of course they are from
Italy.
But that's I think it's very human, is that we are kind of biased on that, right? We kind of tend to trust more who has circle of identity and circle of trust, circle of same social backgrounds, right?
So you didn't know them from Italy?
I did not. So I met here, and we talking. We want to do investment. And I always had this vision of short-term rental, because I want to address that question, and I describe why I love short-term rental. But my friends were a little bit skeptical in the beginning. I know Stefano mostly is gonna hear this, and it's gonna be because it's more a traditional real estate, long-term rental.
Right.
So you also have to be brave to change your mindset.
That's
right?
right.
So if you're trained away, you did on the so coming in the short-term rental and in the rehab business, which is the one that sometimes is just the flipping business, right? So you get something, you rehab, you create equity, you have a new product in your hands, and that point you have to decide what to do with that. But mostly it's also a risk that you are including in factoring in, instead of like a turnkey. Turnkeys are places that are already ready to be used like that. So someone made all the job, all the work, and then you're just buying, and then you're renting, and you're hoping to have cash flow, right? So when I met Stefano, when I met also Pietro and other partners that are now joining the group, the idea was like, do we believe that we can create quality? And we could take something older, make it pretty, like we want, like include art, include experience in what you're having in the property, and then make sure that we are offering the beauty and the hospitality, right? So that's why short-term rental. personally, I love short-term rentals, and my goal is to have different property, and I'm in that direction in the cities that I like. So I have a property in Sardinia, I have a property in Houston for myself outside the LLCs. I'm most likely going to buy one in Miami. Why? Because I believe in buy 3 coastal experiences where you don't have to belong only in one place. But this is just my vision. This is don't quote and
I
try.
agree with you.
But if you like it,
Yeah.
the short-term rental gives you, unless you're not really jealous about your things completely, gives you the opportunity to have eventually your place in a spot, and maybe have a second. Because let's say I always target, for instance, 2 bedrooms, right? In this case, because one is going to be your area, locked down, bathroom and kitchen, whatever, and then you can rent the rest of the units when you're not there. So if I decided to spend 4 months in Houston, Vasile has been to my place with the team, and I've seen it. So that's what I do. I have a sort of a duplex set up. One is constantly rented, and the one upstairs. When I'm traveling to another country, let's say I'm in Cagliari and using the Sardinian property, I use that one, and I don't use the Houston one. Is generating income. What does this mean? That you with one rent, you're covering all the property.
That's right.
Because when you're not using, so this is another business model. We're getting a little bit out, but this is a model that I recommend to whoever wants to have been like a nomad approach. Some people like not to have anything. I'm not in that category, because not having everything does not allow you to leave anything anywhere. So you're always traveling with a big luggage, or I'm not that kind. Right? I like my own things around me wherever I go, but travel very light.
Yes.
Right. So if you have, let's say, what are the 3 favorite cities you like to be?
Mine?
Yeah.
In the United States or in the world?
Wherever you want.
Okay.
This has no limit. This dream has no limit.
No, my dream, Bali is number 1 limit.
Okay,
Bali. Let's see, where else? Lisbon?
Lisbon?
So Lisbon, and let's see here. We always have to be in Houston.
So yes, so you have 3. So if you want to follow this model, which I don't know if it's interesting, in your case, you have to say, okay, how do I get enough cash to buy something in Lisbon? Because you might have to go cash, because bank might not give you credit for that. So find a way to refinance another property in the US, buy the one in Lisbon, and then make that producing cash flow, right? So that one is eventually there, and then when you're not there, guess what? Right, rent it. But when you're not there, when you're in Lisbon for your 3 months, then you have the other one working on. Okay. And then always you need the team in Lisbon, the team in Bali, the team in Houston.
That's right.
You need those people to be your eyes on the ground and support your activities.
Absolutely.
Right.
You were saying this whole traveling thing and having different cities and going to different places. The reason why I started Hostkeyper is for this exact reason. Because I love to travel, and at the time when I started it, I didn't have any money and not even a place to live. So I came back from traveling. I was living in South Korea for 2 years, and then I came back, and I stayed at Airbnbs, and I was thinking, one day I want to have an Airbnb, and I can rent out each room.
Yeah.
And when I'm gone, I can use that money to travel somewhere else, and then come back and have a place to live.
Right.
So it's kind of the same concept, and that's
Absolutely
exactly
the same
why.
concept.
Yeah, and that's why I started Hostkeyper. So how does Hostkeyper help you? And actually, I have also a difficult question: what do you love about us, and what do you not like about us, and how can we help you better while you're doing your travels and doing your work, and how can we be better partners for you? And how many units do you have?
Right. So our Hostkeyper, but I would say any team that is dedicated to your cleaning services or cleaning support is going to be very important, right? So Hostkeyper for me has been the key in Houston. Like I've been very lucky on finding you guys, because now I know it's on camera, it looks like fake, but no, guys, this is real. I had other people before. The level of communication, presence, details, it's completely different, right? So in other people, you have your WhatsApp chat telling them or trying to sync on some channel manager or sync on something that is even your iCal on Airbnb. It's a mess, right? So I still have my teams in Miami and in Sardinia. No way. I cannot train them to get to that level. And it's not gonna happen, because sometimes it's just a very smart business, older lady that has 2 young ladies working with her, helping in the cleaning process, but not technology savvy. And whoever is in this business of cleaning often is not technology savvy, right? So Hostkeyper offers your pictures on and off all online through a private channel using technology. Everything is tracked down. If I have a case on Airbnb, I can just go pull back once I had that kind of a scam situation where someone wanted to have all my place re-rented and money off the business because they say, oh, it's a mess. They just create a Photoshop fake things, right?
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so just, things happens when you have like a lot of rentals. Well, in that case, it was unlikely because I had to cancel. I cannot claim anything. But everybody is now using eventually multiple platforms and channel managers, right? So you might have Airbnb, you might have your Booking.com, you can be VBRO, Google Travels, all those things, right? Even if you have a channel manager, somehow you have to sync yourself. But then you have to work with your cleaning partners to figure it out how these things can go. So you guys are in the direction of having that happen, right? And other are not. So I think that's a plus, and that's the best in how a great technology and a great setup can help any as a STR short-term rental host to be successful. And in your case, of course, being like also, I would say, friend in a way, because you could just put a very, very simple and professional way to approach, but also care to the detail, but being present if something happens, right? So kind of showing care for the business that you are supporting, because I'm sure you understand if the business is going well, you guys have a business. Right. So sometimes it goes going a little bit, half a yard extra, just to help the business to try. Let's say Brazil has been super nice. Like there is a restocking. We agreed on a program, and like we can say a small fee for the restocking, but that's an option you can have or not have. If you want to do yourself, it's not mandatory, but it's a great plus for someone that wants to do it. Has some issue with maintenance as well. We have small charges for things to be addressed. So I think that helps us to make sure that we are in good hands, right? To your other questions, I wish I had more housekeepers, but maybe these are things we have to consider. Like how do you scale housekeeper in Sardinia? How do you scale housekeeper in Miami?
That's right.
Like we'll figure it out. That would be the goal. So my other 3 places where we have properties and I have properties do not have the same quality. Not disrespect here, hopefully they don't see it, but they're great on that, but they don't have the same quality. Doesn't mean that it's bad quality, doesn't mean that it's not technology level of quality.
It makes sense.
And so I'm trying to teach my great Daisy, thank God she doesn't speak English, but no, Daisy, she's a great Cuban lady. She's handling my Miami business, and she's great. I'm teaching her, look, that's what I'm doing Houston. So now she's starting to take pictures before and after. Of course, it's not the same quality, not the same.
Give me Daisy's number. We can partner with Daisy, and she can be housekeeper Miami.
Yeah.
So how many units you have ever?
Yeah. So yes.
Miami and Sardinia.
Right. So so far, me and Stefano, and other people. There's also Pietro that has business with me, and then other new partners that are coming in, and we'll mention them when the projects are finished eventually.
Wow.
But so we have 3 multifamilies in Houston, right? So it's 5 units. It's 4 units and another 4 units. So it's 8 plus 5, right? So 13. And the plaza I have my own that is split in 2 parts, so it gets to 15. The one in Caria is one of the single unit. The one in Miami is 3 units. So we are getting close to 20. We're gonna cross that soon because we just purchased another 8 units property here in a developing area in Houston. Yes. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, I feel like I'm going so slow. You're just moving quickly.
That's a process. I'm older than you.
Probably not that much older, but okay.
Yeah. I know. I don't look 70, but that's what I am. No, that's kidding. So the good thing is if you have partners with some resources, let's say. But I want to say the key. I want to go back to the very beginning that we discussed is how do I trust and build a relation with my lenders. Once you have a good relationship with a lender, the lender will get you to a point that you can have a complete project turnaround in buying, having your down payment, and also the budget included in your project. And the lender might agree on having you put down only 10% of the entire project.
What's the importance of having a lender?
The importance of having a good lender, it's actually the opportunity to have access to credit, right? So access to credit means that eventually you have less money to put down for your business.
But couldn't any lender give you access to credit?
Yeah, any lender in theory can give you access to credit, but the trust that you build with the lender is like with any other business. So I know all of us is used to go to the bank and say, hey, that's the bank, they don't care about us. Might be not, right? So, but when let's say we work with investment banks, and with local banks that know you. Like they know your business, they know your way to do business, and they go beyond the fact that eventually you are having a certain income or a certain job, and right. So it's more like, how do you do business? Have you been successful in the past? We trust you, right? That's the thing, right? So when you get to the level, then the lender, and it took a moment to do a couple of investments first, but then when you get to the level, the lender is flexible in giving you more credit, which more credit means less money down. So let's say if you have a project, let's make easy number. Let's say your total project is, maybe you're buying an house for 300,000, and then you want to make 150,000 of improvement. So it might be that the lender tells you, okay, well, your project is solid. It's called after repair value, which is like, what is going to be my value of the house once all the repair has been finalized, right? So if they consider that your after repair value is solid, it's like at least 75%, they can give you credit lending 75%, and there's 25% increase. If that is respected, basically they can tell you, okay, given that you are creating a lot of equity, creating a lot of value in this house, we are okay with you putting that down only 10% of the entire project. So in this case, we say 300 plus 150, 10% of 450 is only 45. So what they're telling you is that with 45,000, you can have an house of 300 with 150 rehab. That can be a lot of nice job. Maybe you have created a duplex or incremented the space that you have. And in that case, you're just putting down 45,000. Which is not, I'm not saying it's nothing, but I'm just boiling it down for, it can, exactly, you don't have to have the 450. Right, so a good lender is allowing you
50,000, but you're putting down
45. So you have, so now you're calculating your cash on cash on the 45,000. Right. So let's say your business makes only 5,000 per year positive. Well, you put down 45,000. So you're basically making 10% already with just making 5,000. So if every month you make 500, your unit is already good. Yep. So after all expenses, if your net cash flow net income is 500, you're already doing 10%. Plus, remember, you create equity because the bank agree with you. You bought something for 300, you put 150 work. This house is worth 550 or 600 because they have to see that gap over the budget and over the rehab to say, okay, we can allow you to have 10% only of down payment. Right, so if you all the criteria again, sometimes it's 10, sometimes it's 12, sometimes it's 15, but usually it doesn't go above 20%. Okay. As long as because otherwise they don't approve your project, right? If you're buying something that is after your rehab is still not worth enough, the bank say, this is not good business for us. So guys, this is not what we expect from you. So we say just pick another unit, right? So make sure that you do your math first, make sure that you are looking at your that's where team again, your real estate agent. Real estate agents are a tricky thing, right? Yes. So real estate agents have their own business, right? Their own business is selling, regardless. Right. I'm gonna make 3%, regardless of whatever I sell you.
That's right.
But your partner real estate agent doesn't care about making a 3%. It cares about making 3% of a good deal.
That's right.
Because he knows, or she knows, that in our case, Alicia, which is great in this job. Happy to refer her because she's the best I met in the entire Houston. She knows what we want. It's an investment property of a certain kind that can be used in a certain way. So she is interested in having you closing a great deal. Or at least a profitable deal that can have equity gain and cash flow.
Right.
Or at least even on cash flow and more equity gain. You can make those choices too. Say, okay, I'm not going to make much cash flow on this deal, but the equity is going to be great.
Right.
Or maybe it's a great cash flow and little equity. But regardless, you're making a trade-off.
Still winning. Yeah.
Right. Still, as long as it's no equity, no cash flow, that's not a good deal.
Exactly. You don't want to lose. You want to win.
Or eventually cases of scamming. I heard a lot of those in Miami. You need to be sure that, But now that you can reach out to you, we have great business partners in these cities, including Sardinia, Miami, Houston. So we can find good recommendation for people not to be having nightmare experience with the budget and the rehab part, which is again very, very important to be successful in the next steps, right?
Hostkeyper, how did you find us and what made you want to stay with us?
Okay, that was like the good and the bad about Hostkeyper.
Oh,
we never addressed that one.
Like
Someone might come back, hey, you asked that, and we never addressed that. So at that point, I remember with Stefano and Pietro, we were very frustrated with our cleaning team. And
why?
I addressed a little bit there before about technology, reliability, understanding what was going on in the house. There was no accountability. Like, some of the cleaning crew went to this, oh, I don't know who is. Like, what does it mean I don't know who is? Like, I can't know who is. Like, it's your team, right?
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I was like, oh, no. She says it was like that. It's like, okay. So at a certain point we ask, like, we need to understand better what's going on. Like, because we got complaints from a guest. We need to make sure that the guest did not do that, right? Like,
Right.
something is broken, let's say. With you guys, I know that was the status before when you arrived. This is
right.
broken and wasn't broken before.
That's right.
I have pictures on after, and I can tell. Look, dear guest, I hate to do this, and usually if it's a small thing, I never tell anything to the guest. Like it's cost of doing business. If
Right.
like little things of less than 100 is broken,
Right.
like tier or sheets, we never. Basil knows. We
That's
never ask
right.
the guest, right? It's okay. It's part.
It's a part of the.
You do an hotel, you stay in something, they don't ask you money, right?
Right.
So we need to understand that this has to be the model
That's
also
correct.
for Airbnb if you want to elevate your quality. But the reality is, like, there was always an issue, like scheduling. Sometimes they forget about, it can happen, I understand. But when it happens 2 times, 3 times, like, guys, this is, oh yeah, we're gonna send someone last minute.
Oh, so they forgot
It's
to
fine.
show up.
Yeah. So it happens, like, we have, it can happen anywhere, right? It can happen
Right.
also with you guys. That eventually you do
It,
someone
it could have happened, but you have to figure out a strategy so it
to
doesn't
solve
ever
it.
happen.
To solve it. Yes. Yeah. So you guys do what I love. Again, introducing high level of quality, which includes private chatting, high call sync, channel manager sync, because I'm sure you guys can sync also to channel managers, and all those kind of quality reports, and additionally the extra opportunities that you offer, like small maintenance tasks, restocking, and being always online. There's like, you guys have a team that is always online. Like, if it's not you, Vasil, or someone else of the leadership team, there's always someone of the hiring admins that are there to address and communicate with the
right.
housekeepers, right? So this is fantastic. So it doesn't expose the housekeeper to my complaints if I
Right.
have. We
Right.
try to be very professional, so we
Yeah,
don't
us
really
too.
we don't try to complain. It's like we try to understand there's a problem, fine. We don't really understand exactly who did it. It's like, how we make sure that doesn't happen again, right? So we
Yes.
are not into blaming. It's more like, how do we solve it?
Right.
Because we believe more in that as a mindset. So
I agree.
that's all the package that you offer. It's high quality on that end, right? And not every other people has, again, because I think we mentioned this before. Many cleaning services are born as in normal houses cleaning services,
residential cleaning
right? So they don't understand the concept of turnover, and don't understand the concept of Sundays. It's like, why do I have to come on Sunday? Well,
Sundays.
it's not that I want you to come on Sunday, because this is not my house. It's just like someone is checking out on Sunday, and I have a check-in on Sunday.
That's right.
So I have no solutions. If you tell me Sunday is not a good day for your business to work, and happens sometimes that they would like to avoid, hey, Sunday not, can we send them on Monday? Sure. If we are sure 100% that someone is not coming, fine. Maybe you have a booking checkout on Sunday morning and you have a check-in on Monday. Well,
Right.
then you don't need to clean that day, because depending on your business model, if you don't have every day available, then fine, right?
Right.
So the same, we have a minimum of 2 nights most of our units. But if you need to do it, someone has to offer that option, right?
right.
Of the cleanings also in the nasty days. It can be Thanksgiving, guys, I know.
Yep.
And I do understand if you tell me, like, look, this day is a 25% charge extra because I don't
Yep.
find anybody, that's on me. I probably charge you 25% more on that day anyway, because
Right.
someone is traveling. So it's fine, right? So we understand that everything has a cost, right?
Yes.
Right. So, but that's to be offered somehow.
That's right.
Right, sorry. With normal things. I'm talking business here, not everything. I'm not trying to suggest here everything is a price. No.
Don't raise your price on the holidays. Yeah.
But yeah, so this is a little bit. So I don't think there's something going into what I don't like. I don't think there's something that I don't like. I think there's room for improvement, right? There's
Yeah.
always room for improvement.
Absolutely.
There is things that, for instance, I know Vasil wants to add a little bit more service of maintenance, for instance. Can we even rely more on something that is just more than housekeepers for cleaning, or housekeeping in general, and can offer extra features, right?
Right.
So that you kind of offset, you get closer to the management, but you don't take over the listing management.
Would you like us to take over the listing management?
So this opens a huge
We're
debate
thinking about
between.
it. That's why And this is just a discussion.
Right.
Yeah.
Fantastic. No, I think that's fair. You guys, but if you do that, you get into the full property management business,
That's
right? Some Airbnb, Booking, VBRO, all these short-term rental platform, they like their listing. It's their baby, right? So they like the interaction with the guest, and they don't trust anybody else.
Okay.
They just they don't trust it. It's like, of course, it's a mind thing.
Right.
Like, I'm sure you guys can do great, but there's a lot of hosts, they don't want to give away the control.
Well, that's
right?
awesome.
Right?
Yeah.
Some. Others, very happy to
Yeah.
give everything away. But again, how do you make sure that the quality of the communication, the consistency in the communication, whoever you are understands that the relationship with the guest is the one that brings the 5 stars. And in this business, that's everything, because your short-term rental is as valuable as your review are high, right? So if you cannot keep up with that level of support and friendly approach and hospitable kind of lifestyle, then your reviews are going to go lower. And then if you go lower than 4.6, 4.5, then becomes trickier. You basically have to start from scratch with a new listing. If they allow you. In Booking, forget about it. You cannot do so easily a new listing on something, right? So it's complicated. So you need to be careful on who is your partner. I'm sure you guys can do great. And I'm always ready to honestly make experiences and experiments with other partners. So if one day you guys have the opportunity, we can see if that's a test. We can take a couple of units, see how they go, and then decide if that works or not. But
who does it for you right now?
we do it.
Are you doing?
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
with the guys?
Yeah.
Okay, that's awesome.
So the secret for that is automatic. So your system has to be based on teams and automation, right? So everything has to be automatic. If you book right now on one of my Airbnb, you're gonna get an automatic message within 5 minutes, right? So it appears that someone is monitoring, and is actually monitoring. A computer is monitoring, an AI is monitoring.
Right.
You get a message with all the welcome to the unit, blah blah blah. You're gonna receive another message on the day before check-in, and the second message is also automatic. Comes to you the day before with the codes, instructions, and everything. Then you get a mid-stay messages that tells you how is everything, how are you doing, you need anything else from us. Some people ignore it, some people respond, no, everything is great.
Right.
Some people say, yeah, actually, your thing is, I'm missing some towels, I'm missing this. Fantastic. Why? That has prevented a 4-star review. The fact that you send an automatic, but they responded, is triggering communication.
Right.
It's triggering, you have any issue, let me know, right?
That's right.
So if they don't respond, sometimes they don't respond, but they're already upset, and then you're not going to be happy anyway.
Right.
But most of the people don't want to leave a bad review. They want to have a great experience.
That's right.
They don't care about giving you a review. They care about having
a great experience.
a great experience. So
That's right.
something is missing. Also, most of the people reach to you regardless. But if some people are a little bit shyer, a little bit, more, understand this is an Airbnb. Guys, this is a message for everybody. Airbnb now has to elevate their quality very high. I think if you want to do a successful Airbnb, it can't just be a trashy house,
That's
not
right.
clean. So that's why you need also very professional cleaning service, spot on. Everything has to be how you agree and stocked properly with your stuff and everything that you decide to offer between like coffee, between like olive oil, whatever you decide to put in your house, right?
Shampoo.
So shampoo, of course, cleaning items, of course, cleaning items and bathroom items, kitchen items, everything has to be friendly and ready for the guests. So the message has to be automatic. You guys have to be synced automatically, because otherwise you cannot have more than one or two if you want to take care of everything.
Absolutely.
So if you want to scale up, you have to find teams and make everything as automatic as possible. So you, in theory, are responding to the guest only when a problem happens. Anything other than that, 80% of the guests, automatic AI. So the booking goes in, he gets the trigger, he has to go send an housekeeper to set up everything. Something is missing, then we intervene. Something is missing, then you intervene. This is broken. Okay, well, let me contact another part of your team, your contractor eventually, that comes in. Hey, Geber, great guy, by the way, come over, we have an issue on this. Blah, blah. Okay, sir, I'm there in 1 hour. He's seeing our contractor, he gets there within 2 hours all the time. So find a partner in every portion of your business, and your business is going to be successful.
Awesome.
Then, of course, you need to make your math from the beginning very well, because otherwise your cash flow and everything is not going to work anyway. Even if you have a great team, if your math is wrong, nothing's going to solve that problem.
Awesome.
So don't forget to get that right from the beginning.
Awesome.
Right.
Well, thank you so much. Can we head over to your Airbnbs and check them out?
Yeah, sure. Yeah, that's
Which one is available right now? I honestly we don't even know.
No, we don't have to go inside, or we could just walk on the outside.
I like. Of course, we are all Instagram addicted nowadays, right?
Exactly.
That was so funny. There was a friend of mine that is kind of doing how do I? Because every Sunday, if you're not local, someone is to do it.
Just want to say thank you so much, Nicola.
Bye-bye.
Right?
So we just got done interviewing Nicola, and he's a busy man, so he had to go. So right now we're looking for codes. Excuse me.
Yes, I'm looking for calls to access the few of his units.
You're really using this as an opportunity to comb your hair.
Ciao, signora.
Oh my goodness.
Housekeeping.
All right, let's check it out. So what is this one called?
Tuscany.
Tuscany. We are in Tuscany. All right, we're here at the entrance. Thank you for observing our no smoking policy. Leaning Tower of Pisa. available, we can. Ciao.
Ciao, papà.
Oh, it's a studio.